Dr. Deepak, do you think that the emotions of peace, love, understanding and compassion can really help us, especially when we find ourselves in situations where we feel we have to defend ourselves from a perceived enemy? Even in a personal relationship, whether it's in the office, whether it's at home?
The key to invincibility is total defenselessness. When you're completely defenseless, then all beings cease to feel hostility. There's a saying that when we're totally established in peace consciousness, everybody stops feeling hostile. Because the world is a projection of who we are.
So actually, the more open, the more vulnerable, I could say?
Yeah, vulnerability, defenselessness, not having the need to defend your point of view leads to creativity and insight. And ultimately, the closest you can be to divinity is to be creative. And therefore, I don't think peace and love are emotions. They are the ultimate truth at the heart of creation. As soon as you get caught up in emotional melodrama, that you've slipped out of it. When you experience your transpersonal or non-separate self, then you spontaneously have love, compassion, loving kindness, happiness at the success of others, and profound equanimity.
I enjoyed very much reading your book, Peace is the Way. I know you wrote it a couple of years ago,
Yes.
but it's a timeless piece of work.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you about something I read there. You wrote, when we stop being conquerors of nature, we can allow the universe to give us gifts that are coming our way. I wanted to ask you to explain this a little bit more.
Well, you know, a misguided way of thinking is that I and nature, which means that my concept of me is I'm a biological organism in an environment that I call nature. So me here, and there's a tree out there. But that's again a misperception based on an obsolete worldview. We are not outside of nature, we are expressions of nature. So my thoughts, which are electrical storms in my synaptic networks, are in a sense the behavior of the universe. The universe doesn't make a distinction between an electromagnetic storm in a nervous system and an electromagnetic storm in the sky. They're both expressions of nature. So I'm not outside of nature, I'm contained in nature. When you look at a tree next time, think of it as your lungs, because if it didn't breathe, you wouldn't breathe. And if you didn't breathe, it wouldn't breathe. That requires a deep shift in consciousness to see that I have a personal body and I have a universal body, and they're both mine, and they're equally mine.
And for the world to give you these gifts?
The gifts are, of course, the highest gifts that you can receive: peace, harmony, laughter, and love.
What do you think is the greatest gift that you've ever received?
The greatest gift that I have received is love from both my family, my children, and from the world.
Well, we've received a lot of love and a lot of wisdom from all that you've written and said.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak Chopra.
Thank you.